This is one of those great sites, you know, like,
Oh, good.
would they really let me touch that?
Absolutely.
In spring 2011, the Weggers and Gardens Foundation will host world-renowned woven wood sculptor Patrick Dougherty. Patrick visited Weggers and Gardens Metro Park in January 2010 for an advanced site survey and to discuss and plan his unique stick construction installation.
I've lately been working in this great new venue for sculptors in gardens and parks. We had our initial tour of the garden and found the North Plaza, which is near the theater and near the entrance to the children's garden, and thought that it would make a great site. If you walk through this garden out here, you'll see there are an enormous number of lines, an enormous number of type of lines, colors, and so forth. And you could imagine those lines in some ways, in some thickets, of having drawn their own picture.
To help draw that picture, Dougherty will use local materials supplied by the Five Rivers Metro Parks.
When I arrived here, we took a meander along some of the lakes and found one in the Metro Park system that had been an old quarry, and the willows have taken over there, and it's their opinion that if they cut out some of the older willows and just down to the stump, that they would come back with a lot of color next year. The Parks Department has graciously offered to allow us to take some of these willows, not root them up, but cut them off at the stump and use this material. And of course, my criteria for a great stick is one that's very flexible and that has good color. The bark on the willows, it's beautiful brown, kind of gray, some even purpley kind of overtones there. I think they'll make a great piece. And they're just so plentiful there that we should be able to get every size and dimension that we need.
Dougherty feels it is vitally important to include his sponsors, the local community, and volunteers in his work and in the construction process.
I think people are eager to help me here. They understand my process, and that process is very connected to the process of doing good gardening work and reacting to what you see. They're allowing me a tremendous amount of latitude here. We also are trying to convince people from the community to volunteer and help with the work. At any one time, we might have 4 people who are volunteers working, and they don't have to have too much skill to do it because we can show you how to do it. We have these mixed groups of people, old and young, and together we form up a kind of a wrangling force in which we try to force these sticks to do our bidding and to build something that's really interesting. It's easy for volunteers to help. I hope we'll have a number of people that feel moved to come out and help build this sculpture.
Finally, Patrick reflects on his artistic inspiration and how it will relate to the Weggers and Gardens Foundation exhibit.
I've had a really good art career, and over a period of time I have a really fantastic track record of building things that people are eager to see and eager to participate in the building of. And Weggerson is one of those examples. I do think that it has a big effect on me because I'm garnering feelings about the space, but also about the audience. Just like everyone else that comes to the garden, it affects me as well. I think we've got a lot of mixed feelings about sticks, but they really have a lot of information for us if you handle them. Metaphorically, they kind of speak to some of the other ways we feel about nature. We feel like it's a growing entity. It's an unstoppable force. It's a wayward current. The most basic thing going on here is you're trying to make something that has vitality and that the viewer walks up and has a kind of a visceral response. The best part of it is just this thrill of connecting with something. It's not so specific. You don't even know why you like it so much at first. In 2011, when I come now, we'll have a big, interesting stick sculptures out there, and people will be able to see it as they walk into the garden. It will be at the end of the major avenue. You'll be able to see it up there, see some kind of skyline, and wonder what's going on up there. It'll be easy to walk into, walk around. And of course, it's my job to make something that looks really exciting.
For more information on the Patrick Dougherty exhibit at Weggers and Gardens Metro Park, please contact the following: